I already shared this with my chick friends, but I'm just going to share it. So, I knew this was going to happen. This morning, while I was still in bed, technically, although it's because I went to bed late and so I slept late, um, I got a text from my HVAC dude, and he's like, "Hey, can I come over and get one of my pipes out of your big garage? Because here's what happens: is I store stuff for my HVAC dude in my garage, and in exchange, I get my not monthly, my annual. I get an annual service package where they come in and they check all the HVAC shit and the um, I usually ask them to change out the furnace filter because I don't do it. And yeah, it's a pretty good little system. And here's what happened: is like 2 weeks ago, I opened the garage and discovered that like half of the pipes, ducts, things, big tubular things that they store in there, they were all toppled over. And I was like, what the heck? And I thought it was wind. And I went over there, and there's like this big pile of shaving like things there. And I realized that it's right under like this lip that is on the roof ceiling thing that's sort of, there's like a little lofty area, not like a person, like a foot or two is up there. So it's right there where the lip of the thing is. And so I realized that there has been some sort of an animal. I then hear something up there. Sometimes I always thought that maybe I heard birds up there, but no, it's got to be an animal of some kind. So I hear something up there as well, and then I worry that like something is nested inside one of the pipes and or ducts or whatever they are, and so I'm like, okay, I need to get the rodent trapper person out, and so come out of the garage, I close the garage door up, and I go to the mailbox to get see if any mail's there. There's no mail that has been officially delivered, but my HVAC guy has put a letter in there for me. It had even had a stamp on it. In fact, I should find that envelope and pull the stamp off. Um, oh, no, that's not it. I should find the envelope and pull the stamp off because the stamp is not canceled. So anyway, it's from my HVAC guy of all the timings of the things, and I open it up and it's the letter saying, you're subscribed to the annual service thing. And then it has a note in there saying this is just for your records and but it's free because you allow us to store stuff in there. And I'm like, oh crap, I have let down my HVAC guy, and because rodents and things. So I did call the trapper, but I can't believe the timing of that. I discover disaster, and then I get that letter saying, yeah, we've thanks for letting us store crap there. That letter must be right over there. Yeah. So I get the trapper guy, and he was supposed to come today. First of all, my regular trapper guy couldn't do it, but he learned from his dad. He's like, call my dad. And so set that up. It was going to be today, but then we had a ginormous storm yesterday. Like, I lost power for 2 hours. It was crazy. And, yeah, so he texted to say, hey, because the weather that was expected today, and in fact, it was snowing quite a bit for a while. Didn't really stick, but, or it didn't stick around even though it's like 19 degrees. He's like, I'm going to come Wednesday and sit. So he's not come Wednesday. So then this morning, this is how the timing works. This is only the second time in 2 years that the HVAC guy has wanted to come get supplies from the garage. And of course, I'm like, gosh darn it, I'm like, I knew this would happen. That, there's been a feral squirrel in there. I guess all squirrels are feral, but there's been a feral squirrel in there running around, causing a ruckus, knocked over stuff, and all kinds of stuff. But he's like, I'm not worried about the squirrel. And I'm like, well, I let you down, and he sent me the nice note, and yeah. So anyway, so they came over and they got stuff, and I had been afraid to put the pipes back up, or the ducts or whatever they are, because I was worried something had nested in there. So I took pictures of the things from a distance from the side to see if there were nests in there. There weren't nests. So I did manage to stack up all the pipes before he came over and got them. So that was good, but it didn't look nearly as nice as it had when he had set them up. That happened. The only other update that I suppose I will provide is that I mentioned that the power went out for 2 hours. I think I made good use of that time. During that time, I realized that, because who knew how long the power was going to be out. I did get a text from my energy folks saying, we suspect that your power is out, and, we don't have an update for when it will be restored. So, that could be days. You don't know. So I had my work laptop. I used my phone. I posted my work thing that I might, I don't have power and I don't know when I'm going to get power. So then I plugged my phone into the laptop because I figured may as well let it, it's going to drain anyway a little bit. It'll lose some power. So I may as well have it also charge my phone. I set that up, notified various people that needed to know that I was having this issue in case they didn't hear from me or couldn't get in touch with me. And then I took a shower. I thought that was a good move because I'm pretty sure it's an electric water heater down there. Have I looked? Not really. I took a shower, and a hot shower, because who knows when you're gonna, get to do that again. And I can go a couple days without a shower, so that's good. I'm clean as I make this recording. And then I have cold weather food up on top of my refrigerator, and I kept meaning to cook my hamburger, my ground beef, all day long, and I never quite got around to that. I kept putting it off, and I'm like, oh, I'll cook it around 5:30 or 6, and I didn't make it for 5:30 because that's about when the power went out. And so then I pulled down a can of my turkey chili with no beans and got out a spoon, and I took my can over to the living room where I had the light open, and there's just a little bit of light left because we got lots of overhead clouds and crap. And then I ate my chili right out of the can there. I didn't need to do that. I just did. And as I reported to my friend Mike, I'm like, I just sat there eating my chili looking sad, because I had no entertainment and I was eating chili out of a can, which seemed kind of pathetic. The whole thing was pathetic. And, but then I tossed the can, and when I was done, and then I was like, you know what, I might be sorry when it's actually dark and I didn't do anything that I could have done when I had at least some light. So then I went into my craft room, which I need to organize, and I worked on that for about a half hour. Made a little bit of progress, some good progress in there, and set up where some things are going to be going and stored and whatnot. And then I heard beeping from this room that I'm in right now as things came alive again and lights turned on, and oh, what a joyous noise it was. And so I figure a half hour of that was good. And now, you think of all the things you wish you'd done. Like, I wished I'd cooked my meat. I cooked my meat. And I thought to myself, oh man, maybe I should have done laundry before this all happened. And I might not have done that, except then it's like Lulu heard the beeping, and so she came out and she ate. And when Lulu gets off the bed, that's when I can change sheets, is when she's off the bed and I'm off the bed, everybody's off the bed. So I change my sheets, and then I'm like, fuck it, I'll do some laundry. So I did some laundry, and hoped that the Bauer wouldn't go back up while the water was in the washer. And it did not. It has not gone back up, knock on the wood. And so, yeah, I did a load of laundry, changed my sheets, took a shower, organized the craft room, ate some chili, then, did what I planned to do that night, and I felt I'd been so productive. I felt no guilt whatsoever about watching some TV, doing some cross stitching and whatnot for the rest of the night. And I enjoyed sitting in the light, listening to things and watching things. So anyway, that's the adventure that has been happening. I don't think I've mentioned my truck, but we don't need to talk about my truck. That could be another update for another time. That's my update for now. These are the exciting things happening in rural Illinois.